Do some quiz practice just to give you some practice as you get ready. Okay, number one. Number one has a picture that looks like this. And whoops, let's change color. It has hatch marks there and there. And the question says, which method, side, angle, or angle, angle, side, or hypotenuse, leg, can be used to prove the triangles are congruent? Well, we use a highlighter. We have a pair of sides that are congruent, a pair of angles that are congruent, and one side which is obviously congruent to itself. So that is side, angle, side. Number two looks like this. And it says, which one can you use? Our choices are side, 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 angle, side, angle, side, angle, 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 side, or hypotenuse, leg. Well, this has a right triangle. Just because it is a right triangle. Just because they have right angles does not mean it will necessarily be hypotenuse, leg. It could be side, angle, side, or angle, side, angle. So let's check it. We have a right angle, and we have a leg, and then we would have to have a hypotenuse. Okay, this is the hypotenuse of both of them, and they are congruent to, one is congruent to the other because it's the same side. So we have a hypotenuse and a leg of a right triangle. So this one would be hypotenuse, leg. Remember, just because it's got a right angle doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to be hypotenuse, leg. Okay, number three looks like this. Looks like a controller for a video game to me. And it has this and this and that. Okay, so we have an angle that's congruent to an angle. Another angle is next in line, and then a side and a side. So this one is angle, angle, side. Okay, the next one says to use the given information to write a proof. Yes, you're going to have to be able to do some proofs. Now, as I've told you over and over again, the best thing you can do is go back and redo proofs that you already have. And there's a whole bunch of them online, so you can pull those back up out of your book, and you can try to do them on your own again. And then, if you need help, you can follow the proof online. That's why I do them, so you can look at them anytime you want to. Okay, this one says, let's see. It's got kind of a rhombus there, and it is marked with this and this, and we have, you should be drawing this because you should always draw your figure so you can write all over it, and this is in your book, and you should not write in the book because that makes it so that other people can't learn as easily from the book that you're working out of. Okay, we have given angle BAC is congruent to angle DCA, and AB is congruent to CD. You are to prove triangle A, B, C is congruent to triangle CDA. Okay, so we're going to look at we're going to mark what it is we're supposed to prove. Well, we don't need to mark that because you can't mark the triangles. All right, we have choices of side, 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 angle, side, angle, side, angle, 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 side, and hypotenuse leg. Hypotenuse leg is out of there because we don't have a right triangle, so that can't be that one. Okay, we have an angle and a side, so we could be looking at side, or angle, side, angle, or maybe even angle, angle, side. But probably not side, side, side. And now we want to look at our figure and say, well, what else do I know from looking at this? Can I tell if BC is equal to AD? No. Can I tell if angle B is equal to angle D? No. Can I tell if angle CAD is equal to angle ACB? Now, if it bores you to hear all of these things, I kind of have to go through the thought process for those of you who are struggling with it. So no, I have no way of proving that. The only way to prove those angles would be if I had some parallel lines. But I can say the third side, AC, is congruent to itself. So now I can say, oh, well, I have side, angle, side. So this is the one I want, side, angle, side. And so now I just have to go about proving it. Statements and reasons. And I'm just going to put all of the given part together. Angle BAC is congruent to angle DCA, and my reason is given. This is number 1. And I'm going to put the other given statement right underneath it. AB is congruent to CD, also given, so we'll just leave that together. All right, now I always try to mark what I'm trying to do here. I have an angle and I have a side. So now I have to do the other side. And I'm going to do this in a different color just to remind us that this was not given information. We had to figure it out. We know that AC is congruent to AC, and that is the reflexive property of congruence. And that would be my last side. So now I can say, and I'm going to copy exactly what this here says, 3. Well, that's the end result, so I'm going to do that in a different color. Let's do it in green. 3. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle CDA, and that is by side, angle, side. Because the side comes first, and then the angle is between them, and then the other side. Okay, and you can stop the tape right here if you need to go back through it. All right, now I'm going to do the other proof. Now, I guess this is, I'm not looking at the quiz, so I can't tell you how many proofs are on the quiz, but the quizzes generally follow the same form as what's in the book. So you could have 2 or 3 proofs on this quiz. We're not going to do number 6 because that really comes from page 256, which is from lesson 4.6. So I'm not going to give you that one today because you're just learning that. Okay, so this is the figure, sort of. W, V, X, Y, Z, and we've got angle W is congruent to angle Z, and we have VW is congruent to YZ, This is given information. So I have room to write given up here. And we're to prove triangle VWX is congruent to triangle YZX. Alright, I haven't written all my given information, so let me mark it in here and then see what we can figure out from this. Okay, so we don't have any equal base angles or anything like that to deal with, so we can't be saying any other sides are congruent. And we don't have any parallel lines to be talking about alternating interior angles or exterior angles or anything like that. So we have to look our figure over and see what else can we determine is congruent. First of all, let's remember what we can use. Side, 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 side angle, side. I know you're tired of hearing that, but it will help you remember. Okay, what can we not use? We cannot use hypotenuse leg because there's not a right angle in there. We have an angle and a side, so that means any of these three could be our answer. And then we have to say, well, what do we know looking at the figure? Well, the only thing else that we know is that the vertical angles are congruent. Vertical angles being congruent, then I have angle, angle, side. So that's how I'm going to prove this one. Statements. And reasons. Angle W is congruent to angle Z, and VW is congruent to Y. I got garbled. To Y, Z. And that is given. 2. Okay, we're going to do this one in a different color because it's not something that was given. I'm going to do it in blue. Okay, and that would be this part right here. Now we have to name this angle something other than X because there are several different angles at X. You could find 4, 5, or 6 angles depending on how much you know about angles. So we have to name them using 3 letters. We get W, X, V is congruent to Y, X, Z. And that is because of the vertical angle congruence theorem. So now we can prove the last statement. VWX is congruent to YZX, and that is because of angle, angle, side. And it's angle, angle, side in that order because the angles are next to each other. These two angles are next to each other. Okay, angle, angle, then side. The side is not between the angles. It's on the other side of the angles. Okay, again, I would encourage you to practice all of the proofs that we've done before if you're having difficulty with proofs. It doesn't come to you how to do this.